Three gun-related bills are now headed to Governor McKee's desk after they were approved by the state Senate just last night.
So they include a ban on high-capacity magazines that hold more than 10 rounds, a bill that raises the minimum age to buy a gun or ammunition from 18 to 21, and another that makes it illegal to openly carry a loaded rifle or shotgun in public. And 12 News reporter KAYLA Fish is live with us this morning. She has a recap of the debate last night and a look ahead to what happens next.
Hey, good morning, guys. Well, it was another night of lengthy and heated debate at the State House here behind me. And while all three of those gun control measures ultimately were approved by the full Senate, it was the controversial ban on higher capacity magazines that received some of the most pushback. So let's go ahead and break down the timeline of how we got here. As 12 News has previously reported, the House approved all three of those bills last week. Yesterday, it was the Senate Judiciary Committee's turn to vote on that chamber's mirror versions of those proposals. Now, two bills which raise the minimum age to buy a gun to 21 and make it illegal to openly carry a loaded weapon in public were approved by that committee and sent to the full Senate, which okayed them as well. But the committee rejected the Senate's version of the ban on high-capacity magazines, stalling the measure. That is, until Senate leaders voted to move the identical House version straight to the full Senate floor for a vote, bypassing the Judiciary Committee. And it passed after hours of emotional back and forth.
I don't want people who are good people out there being felons just because they've got a 15-round magazine. That's not right. It's not the law-abiding citizens with the 15-round magazines that are killing people. It's mentally ill people.
Large capacity magazines enable killing on a massive scale. That is their sole purpose. As such, they have no place on our streets and in our society.
Now, as we've previously reported, Governor Dan McKee has signaled continued support for all three bills and has said he would sign them into law once they made it to his desk. No word yet on when exactly that signing could take place. Live in Providence, I'm KAYLA Fish, 12 News.
And Rhode Island's governor expected to sign three gun-related bills into law sometime very soon.
Yeah, the measures passed the General Assembly last night, the latest step in the ongoing debate over gun reform. 12 News reporter KAYLA Fish joining us right now with the very latest. KAYLA.
Hey, good morning, guys. Well, as we've previously reported, Governor Dan McKee has said he's ready to sign these bills once they get to his desk, and that's exactly where they're headed now that they've won approval from the General Assembly. So last night, senators voted to pass a bill that would raise the minimum age to buy a gun or ammunition from 18 to 21. Another would make it illegal to carry a loaded rifle or shotgun in public. Now, the full Senate also approved a bill to ban higher capacity magazines that hold more than 10 rounds of ammunition, following an initial rejection from the Senate Judiciary Committee, as well as multiple objections from a number of lawmakers and proposed amendments that ultimately failed. Now, opponents have argued that it's not the guns, but the country's mental health crisis that's to blame.
By affecting a group of people that don't have mental health issues, that are law-abiding citizens, is not the answer. It will not stop it.
Critics will claim that no law can prevent the horrific mass killing we've seen in Buffalo, Uvalde, and so many other places. But the reality is that we can take meaningful action to reduce the risk of such tragedy here in our state.
Now, no word yet on when the governor is planning to sign these bills into law, precisely a time on that. We haven't gotten any word on that just yet. But once the ban on higher capacity magazines is signed into law, the people who own those types of devices would have 180 days to convert them, surrender them to police, or sell them to people in other states where they're still legal. Live in Providence this morning, I'm KAYLA Fish, 12 News.